Redlands College and Flinders Christian Community College both share strong Christian philosophical foundations and similar overall educational goals. The two schools do, however, have different priorities and approaches in teaching their students. Flinders aims to encourage its students to explore their own knowledge and worldviews through tasks which will build their axiological understanding, whilst maintaining a Christian emphasis in its teachings. Flinders' cosmological and theological beliefs are consistent with the Christian faith, and while students are encouraged to think ontologically and come to their own conclusions, the school endeavours to replicate Christian views in its students. Redlands College's theological and cosmological views are also consistent with the Christian faith. However, Redlands College does not encourage ontological thinking to the same capacity as Flinders, ensuring that its students are taught that typically Christian worldviews are the views they want their students to follow and believe. This is evident in an excerpt from their parent handbook. Redlands College is an active and unashamedly a Christian school, promoting the teachings of Jesus Christ. Our Christian faith is fundamental to all aspects of the college, from the units of work we teach, resources used in teaching, to our discipline policy, and the relationships between staff, students, and parents. The students attending Redlands College and Flinders will be typically from similar socio-economic groups, as both schools charge similar fees and are positioned in built-up city areas. For this reason, the microsystems and mesosystems are, as recognised by Brenner, of students will be consistent across the majority, whilst every student from both schools will bring with them their own microsystem. Both facilities can make the assumption that all students will have a knowledge of the Christian faith and will be from predominantly Australian communities. The teaching approaches of both schools differ as a result of educational models that the school adopts. Flinders uses the UBD teaching model, or understanding by design. Redlands College, on the other hand, uses a more traditional teaching model. However, Vygotsky's scaffolding is consistently adopted through both schools, as is typical with modern education. Flinders focuses on growing an anthropological relationship between its students and their teachers by providing an environment where each student and teacher can be independent in both personality and their preferred learning style, whilst maintaining a fundamental underlying spiritual and cultural focus. The epistemological belief of Flinders is that each student's learning style is different, and teachers need to create an environment for each student that accommodates all learning styles, enabling students to learn to their maximum potential. The primary goal of UBD is student understanding, the ability to make meaning of big ideas, and transfer their learning. Redlands College uses a firm biblical base for its teachings. Whilst this is the same base used by Flinders, Redlands College uses a more traditional teaching style, that instead of encouraging independence for its students and creating teaching styles that will embrace all learning styles, it delivers its content in a set way. The disadvantage with Redlands College is that it has a more sink or swim approach. There was only one teaching style provided, that being sitting at a desk listening to a teacher at the front of the class. If this style of learning did not suit a student, there were no other learning alternatives provided. The differences between Flinders and Redlands College educational models continue to be apparent in the curricular emphasis of their assessment. Flinders uses formative assessment to assess the ability of their students during set periods. Teachers also ask essential questions through normal classes to examine how students are progressing on a regular basis and assess essential understanding. Redlands College, on the other hand, uses standardized testing to assess its students. Whilst the school collects pieces of work from students throughout a typical term, these pieces of work are not marked, and therefore students are not provided with regular feedback, allowing them to appreciate whether they are performing as required. The only way to discover this are the marks they receive from their end-of-term tests. Redlands College provides students with knowledge through classes, but the onus is on the student to put that knowledge into context and make meaning of it. In summary, Flinders and Redlands College are similar schools in the respect that their students are from similar socio-economic backgrounds, and that they both use a strong Christian base for their teachings. However, due to different educational models adopted by both schools, the way they deliver the curriculum and the roles teachers play for the students differ greatly. Both schools are effective in educating students, but parents need to consider the strengths and weaknesses of their children from a learning perspective to make sure their children are attending the school best suited to their individual learning needs.